Welcome to Echoes of Hollywood. Some of these faces once made our hearts race before we ever imagined how quickly the years could disappear. Through the great romances of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they gave us kisses, heartbreaks, and love stories we never quite forgot. But decades have passed, and some look completely different today, while others remain surprisingly familiar. Stay with us, because several transformations ahead may leave you wondering where all those beautiful years went. Ryan O'Neal became a defining romantic heartthrob in Love Story, where Oliver Barrett's passionate devotion and heartbreak captivated an entire generation. His later years were quieter, following decades of personal struggles and serious health problems. He passed away in 2023 at 82, while Love Story continues preserving the handsome young man audiences remember falling hopelessly in love. Ali MacGraw became an unforgettable romantic heroine in Love Story, her natural beauty and emotional vulnerability making Jenny Cavallari a 1970s icon. Now 87, she looks considerably different from the young woman audiences remember. She has long preferred a peaceful life away from Hollywood, embracing privacy and simplicity while remaining warmly connected to the film that forever shaped her romantic image. Robert Redford embodied effortless romantic elegance in The Way We Were, his golden-haired charm creating unforgettable chemistry with Barbara Streisand. He spent his later decades championing independent filmmaking and environmental causes while largely avoiding Hollywood's celebrity culture. He passed away in 2025 at 89, leaving behind a screen image that remains forever associated with classic American romance. Barbara Streisand made The Way We Were unforgettable, bringing fierce personality and aching vulnerability to one of the 1970s defining screen romances. Now 84, she looks naturally different from the young Katie Morosky, yet remains unmistakable. She works more selectively today, enjoying a quieter family life while her music and films continue connecting her with generations of devoted admirers. Jane Seymour made love across time feel possible in Somewhere in Time, her luminous elegance giving the bittersweet romance its enduring emotional spell. Now 75, she remains remarkably recognizable and continues acting rather than retreating from the spotlight. She also pursues art and philanthropic work, while her graceful appearance still carries traces of the romantic heroine audiences felt for decades ago. Christopher Reeve became an unforgettable romantic hero in Somewhere in Time, where his tender chemistry with Jane Seymour made impossible love feel believable. His life changed profoundly after a 1995 riding accident left him paralyzed, and he became a determined advocate for spinal cord research. He passed away in 2004 at 52, leaving his youthful romantic image forever preserved on film. Meryl Streep brought mature, aching romance to Out of Africa, making Karen Blixen's complicated love for Dennis Finch Hatton deeply unforgettable. Now 77, she looks naturally different from the elegant woman audiences remember, yet remains unmistakable. She continues acting selectively, choosing distinctive projects while maintaining a relatively private personal life after more than 5 decades at Hollywood's highest level. Richard Chamberlain became television's great forbidden romantic hero in The Thornbirds, where Father Ralph's love for Meggie captivated millions worldwide. He continued performing for decades before gradually stepping away from the spotlight and spending his later years more privately. He passed away in 2025 at 90, while The Thornbirds still preserves the magnetic leading man viewers remember. Leonard Whiting became the face of youthful romance as Romeo in Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet, capturing both innocence and doomed passion. Now 76, he looks dramatically different from the teenage Romeo forever preserved on film. He largely left mainstream screen stardom behind, pursuing music and other creative interests while living far more privately than during his brief international fame. Troy Donahue became the golden-haired romantic dream of a summer place, embodying the polished young heartthrob image that captivated countless moviegoers. His leading man fame faded considerably in later decades, though he continued appearing in smaller film and television roles. He passed away in 2001 at 65, while his youthful screen image remained permanently tied to Hollywood romance. Don Johnson became a romantic symbol of the 1980s through Miami Vice, where Sonny Crockett's cool confidence and rugged charm captivated viewers. Now 76, he remains remarkably recognizable, though silver hair and age have softened the famous heartthrob image. He continues acting selectively and enjoys family life, carrying himself with the same relaxed charisma that once made Crockett irresistible. Tom Selleck turned Thomas Magnum into an irresistible television heartthrob, with his easy smile, rugged masculinity, and unmistakable mustache defining 1980s charm. Now 81, he looks naturally older but remains instantly recognizable. After years starring in Blue Bloods, he has spoken about enjoying life on his California ranch, far removed from Magnum's Hawaiian adventures yet still warmly remembered by generations. James Brolin brought rugged sophistication to romantic leading man roles, his commanding looks making him one of television's most recognizable stars across several decades. Now 86, he carries the years gracefully and remains closely associated with Hollywood through his long marriage to Barbra Streisand. Though acting less frequently, he continues enjoying a creative, family-centered life while retaining that unmistakable leading man presence. Patrick Duffy became a primetime romantic favorite as Bobby Ewing on Dallas, whose relationship with Pamela kept millions emotionally invested throughout the series. Now 77, he looks considerably different with silver hair and the natural changes of age, yet remains warmly recognizable. He continues acting and has also found a happy later-life relationship, giving his own romantic story an unexpected new chapter. John Cusack captured a generation's romantic imagination in Say Anything, especially with Lloyd Dobeller's unforgettable boombox gesture beneath Diane Court's window. Now 60, he looks noticeably different from the fresh-faced romantic outsider of 1989. He continues working in film while maintaining a famously private personal life, remaining independent and unconventional much like the characters that first made audiences connect with him. Ione Skye became a romantic favorite as Diane Court in Say Anything, bringing warmth and quiet vulnerability to one of the late 1980s sweetest love stories. Now 55, she remains easily recognizable, though naturally changed from the young actress audiences remember. She continues pursuing creative work across acting, writing, and art, living a far more personal life than her teenage screen image might suggest. Robin Wright enchanted audiences as Buttercup in The Princess Bride, where her luminous beauty helped turn a fairy tale romance into an enduring classic. Now 60, she has evolved far beyond the youthful princess, embracing mature, commanding roles while continuing to act and direct. Her appearance has naturally changed, yet the elegant features that made Buttercup unforgettable remain remarkably easy to recognize. Brad Pitt emerged as an irresistible romantic presence in Legends of the Fall, his windswept Tristan becoming one of the defining heartthrob images of the 1990s. Now 62, he looks naturally older yet remains unmistakably recognizable. He continues taking major film roles and producing ambitious projects, transforming from youthful heartthrob into an established Hollywood veteran without completely losing the charisma that first captivated audiences. Val Kilmer brought danger and sensual confidence to the 1980s and 90s, becoming especially unforgettable as the charismatic Iceman in Top Gun. His later years were profoundly changed by throat cancer, which permanently affected his voice and health. He passed away in 2025 at 65, leaving behind the striking young face that once seemed almost inseparable from Hollywood cool. Aidan Quinn brought soulful sensitivity to romantic dramas like Desperately Seeking Susan, where his understated charm offered a gentler alternative to Hollywood's conventional leading men. Now 67, he looks considerably different from his dark-haired younger years but remains recognizable. He continues acting across film and television while maintaining a comparatively private life, letting the work rather than celebrity remain his focus. Rupert Graves brought youthful sensitivity to A Room with a View, where his passionate Freddie Honeychurch became part of one of the 1980s most beloved romances. Now 63, he looks naturally different from that fresh-faced English romantic, yet remains easily recognizable. He continues acting across television, film, and stage, building a remarkably enduring career far beyond the period roles that first introduced him internationally. Tony Goldwyn became unforgettable in Ghost as Carl Brunner, bringing betrayal and dangerous jealousy into one of the 1990s most enduring supernatural romances. Now 66, he looks naturally older but remains strikingly recognizable. He continues working steadily as an actor and director, with later television success introducing him to new audiences while his connection to that unforgettable 1990 love story endures. Brian Brown embodied rugged romantic confidence in The Thornbirds, where Luke O'Neill became part of the sweeping drama that captivated television audiences worldwide. Now 79, he looks considerably different from the dark-haired Australian leading man of those years. He continues acting and writing while sharing a remarkably enduring marriage with Rachel Ward, his co-star from the very miniseries that brought them together. Julian Sands possessed an elegant, unconventional romantic presence, beautifully captured as George Emerson opposite Helena Bonham Carter in A Room with a View. He remained a prolific character actor for decades, his distinctive appearance maturing far beyond that youthful romantic image. He died in 2023 at 65 after disappearing during a mountain hike, leaving that tender early performance especially poignant today. Franco Nero became an international symbol of rugged romance through Camelot, where his Lancelot shared an unforgettable forbidden love with Vanessa Redgrave's Guinevere. Now 84, he carries nearly 6 decades of change yet remains unmistakably charismatic. He has continued acting into later life, while his enduring relationship and eventual marriage to Redgrave gave their youthful screen romance a remarkable real-life echo. James Garner made mature romance feel effortless, especially in Murphy's Romance, where his relaxed charm and warmth proved leading men didn't need youthful glamour to capture hearts. He remained active well into later life, becoming beloved across multiple generations of television and film. He passed away in 2014 at 86, remembered for a natural charisma that never seemed forced. Barry Bostwick brought polished leading man charm to television romances and sweeping miniseries, becoming a familiar face throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Now 81, he looks naturally far removed from his dark-haired younger years but remains wonderfully recognizable. He continues making appearances and embracing his long screen legacy, including the cult following that has kept another side of his career alive for decades. Tony Danza became one of television's most likable leading men through Taxi and Who's the Boss?, where his warmth and chemistry made romance feel charmingly everyday. Now 75, he has silvered considerably but retains the smile and energy audiences remember. He continues performing, including stage and live appearances, while remaining closely associated with the television characters that made him a household favorite. Christopher Plummer became forever associated with romantic elegance as Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music, though he later built a career of extraordinary range. He continued acting into his final years, earning some of his greatest acclaim late in life. He passed away in 2021 at 91, leaving generations to rediscover the handsome captain preserved forever in Salzburg. Margot Kidder gave Lois Lane wit, vulnerability, and irresistible chemistry with Christopher Reeve, helping Superman turn a superhero adventure into an unexpectedly memorable romance. Her later life included personal struggles, recovery, continued acting, and outspoken activism far removed from Lois Lane's glamorous newsroom world. She passed away in 2018 at 69, while that spirited 1978 performance remains beautifully recognizable. Lois Chiles brought cool sophistication to 1970s romance, especially in The Great Gatsby, where her elegant beauty perfectly suited the film's privileged world. Now 79, she looks naturally different from the glamorous young actress audiences remember. She largely stepped away from Hollywood after a selective career, choosing a quieter life while occasional appearances keep her connected to the screen era that first made her familiar. Daniel Day-Lewis brought extraordinary intensity to romantic drama in The Unbearable Lightness of Being, making passion feel complicated, sensual, and deeply human. Now 69, he looks strikingly different with silver hair and mature features. After years away from acting, he returned for Anemone, directed by his son Ronan, adding an unexpected new chapter to one of cinema's most selective careers. John Cryer captured awkward young love as Ducky in Pretty in Pink, becoming the loyal outsider whose heartbreak won enormous audience affection. Now 61, he looks noticeably different from the eccentric teenager of 1986, yet his expressive personality remains familiar. He later found major television success and continues acting, allowing him to escape Ducky's shadow while still embracing the character audiences never forgot. Bruce Robinson embodied fragile youthful romance as Benvolio in Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet, before eventually finding his greater calling behind the camera. Now 80, he looks worlds away from the young actor preserved in 1968. He largely left acting behind to become a writer and director, creating with nail and eye and building an enduring reputation far beyond his early screen image. Willem Dafoe brought an unconventional intensity to romantic drama in The Last Temptation of Christ and later films, never fitting Hollywood's traditional heartthrob mold. Now 71, his deeply lined face has become even more distinctive with age. He remains exceptionally active, moving between daring independent films and major productions while preserving the restless creative energy that has defined his career. Gil Gerard became a late 1970s television heartthrob as Buck Rogers, combining heroic adventure with the easygoing charm that made futuristic romance part of the fun. Now 83, he looks considerably different from the dark-haired space hero audiences remember. He has lived much more quietly in recent years, making occasional appearances while remaining warmly connected to fans of the series that defined his fame. John James became a romantic television favorite as Jeff Colby on Dynasty, bringing handsome sophistication to one of the 1980s most glamorous primetime worlds. Now 70, he looks naturally older than the polished young heir viewers remember but remains recognizable. He has continued acting intermittently while living outside Hollywood's constant spotlight, carrying a lasting connection to the soap opera era that made him famous. Jonathan Frakes brought confidence and romantic swagger to Star Trek: The Next Generation, making Commander Riker one of late 1980s television's most charismatic figures. Now 73, his silver hair and beard reveal nearly 4 decades of change, yet he remains instantly recognizable. He stays deeply involved with Star Trek as a director and performer, keeping his connection to the Enterprise remarkably alive. Jack Scalia became a familiar 1980s heartthrob through romantic dramas and television series, with dark-haired good looks that seemed tailor-made for primetime television. Now 75, he looks considerably different from the polished leading man audiences remember. He has continued working more selectively while maintaining a lower public profile, leaving those youthful television appearances as a vivid reminder of his heartthrob years. Russ Tamblyn brought youthful energy to classic romance as Riff in West Side Story, becoming inseparable from one of cinema's greatest musical love stories. Now 91, he looks dramatically different from the athletic young performer dancing through 1961 New York. He has remained connected to his artistic legacy into later life, while generations continue discovering the remarkable physical performer he once was. Malcolm McDowell brought an unconventional edge to screen romance in Time After Time, where H.G. Wells unexpectedly became a charming time-traveling romantic hero. Now 83, he looks dramatically different from the youthful actor of 1979, yet his piercing presence remains unmistakable. He continues acting prolifically across film and television, showing little interest in retirement after a career built on fearless, unpredictable characters. Philip Anglin brought quiet sensitivity to the Thornbirds as Dane O'Neill, becoming part of the sweeping romantic saga that captivated millions in 1983. Now 74, he looks considerably different from the handsome young actor audiences remember. He largely withdrew from mainstream screen work after a selective career, living far more privately and making his appearance today a genuine rediscovery for longtime viewers. Corey Parker brought youthful vulnerability to 1980s and 90s films, including Biloxi Blues, building a career around sensitive, often romantically awkward young characters. His career later moved increasingly toward teaching and work away from Hollywood's spotlight. He passed away in 2026 at 60, leaving behind performances that preserve the youthful face audiences encountered during his busiest screen years. John Diehl became familiar to 1980s viewers through Miami Vice, where Detective Larry Zito moved through the stylish world of danger, relationships, and neon nights. Now 76, he looks considerably different from the dark-haired detective audiences remember. He has continued working as a character actor across film and television, favoring distinctive supporting roles over conventional leading man celebrity. Jay Acavone became a familiar television presence during the 1980s, later joining Beauty and the Beast and its atmospheric world of danger and forbidden romance. Now 70, he looks naturally different from his younger screen years but remains recognizable. He has continued working steadily as a character actor, building a long career through recurring television appearances rather than chasing traditional leading man fame. Mike Farrell became a beloved television figure as B.J. Honeycutt on MASH, whose devotion to his wife gave the wartime comedy an unusually tender romantic thread. Now 87, he looks naturally transformed by the decades yet remains warmly recognizable. He has largely stepped back from regular acting while devoting considerable energy to humanitarian and social causes beyond Hollywood. Mark Slade became a television heartthrob as Billy Blue Cannon on The High Chaparral, his youthful cowboy image winning admirers during the height of television westerns. Now 87, he looks worlds away from the handsome young cowboy viewers remember. He eventually moved away from regular acting and devoted himself increasingly to writing and visual art, creating a quieter second life beyond Hollywood. Paul Peterson captured youthful affection as Jeff Stone on The Donna Reed Show, becoming one of television's most familiar teenage faces of an earlier generation. Now 80, he looks naturally far removed from that boyish television image. He later devoted much of his life to advocating for former child performers, turning his own early Hollywood experiences into support for younger generations. Paul Reiser made complicated married love wonderfully funny in Mad About You, turning everyday disagreements with Helen Hunt into one of the 1990s defining television romances. Now 70, he remains easily recognizable and continues acting, writing, and performing comedy. Later roles have introduced him to younger viewers, while his warm observational humor still connects him to the television marriage that made him beloved. Steve Carell turned awkward middle-aged romance into something unexpectedly touching on The Office, where Michael Scott's search for love eventually revealed genuine vulnerability beneath the comedy. Now 64, he looks more distinguished with gray hair but remains instantly recognizable. He continues balancing dramatic films, television, and comedy, having evolved far beyond Michael Scott without losing the understated warmth audiences embraced. Eugene Levy brought an endearingly awkward approach to romance in Splash, playing the eccentric Walter Kornbluth amid one of the 1980s most charming fantasy love stories. Now 79, his silver hair and trademark eyebrows make him instantly recognizable. He remains active in entertainment, enjoying renewed popularity through Schitt's Creek and later television projects while sharing a particularly successful creative partnership with his children. Ray Romano made ordinary married life funny and recognizable in Everybody Loves Raymond, where Ray and Deborah's imperfect relationship became a 1990s television favorite. Now 68, he looks naturally older but remains unmistakably familiar. He continues acting in both comedy and drama while performing stand-up, building a quieter later career that has moved well beyond the suburban husband audiences first embraced. James Woods brought intensity rather than conventional sweetness to romantic drama, including Against All Odds, where obsession and desire drove its dangerous love triangle. Now 79, he looks considerably different from the sharp-featured leading man of the 1980s. He has worked far less frequently on screen in recent years, living largely outside Hollywood while occasionally returning to public attention through personal projects and appearances. Gabrielle Lager brought European elegance and mystery to 1980s cinema, appearing in romantic dramas that showcased her striking presence and understated screen sensuality. Now 69, she looks naturally different from the young actress captured in those films. She has maintained a comparatively private profile while continuing creative pursuits, making her transformation particularly intriguing for viewers rediscovering her decades after her early screen career. Leonardo DiCaprio became the romantic face of the 1990s when Titanic turned Jack Dawson into the doomed young lover millions around the world adored. Now 51, he has matured far beyond that fresh-faced heartthrob while remaining one of Hollywood's biggest stars. He continues choosing ambitious film projects and producing environmental documentaries, with his private life still attracting enormous public curiosity. Billy Crystal turned friendship into unforgettable romance in When Harry Met Sally, bringing humor, vulnerability, and wonderfully believable chemistry to one of the era's defining love stories. Now 78, he looks naturally older yet remains immediately recognizable. He continues performing and taking selective screen and stage projects, while Harry Burns remains the romantic role that generations return to whenever they wonder whether friends can become lovers. Looking at these stars today, perhaps we realize we weren't only watching their faces change, we were quietly growing older beside them. The heartthrobs became grandfathers, young heroines entered their later years, and some beloved faces never had the chance to grow old at all. Yet their romances remain untouched, waiting whenever we press play again. Thank you for watching Echoes of Hollywood. Which star brought back your strongest memory, and whose transformation surprised you most? We'd love to hear your story.